boys, Ice Ice Ice.
The twist.
As well as Abed, those SCA boys, evil geniuses.
You got me there. I was like, oh man, I'm alone. Well, how about we take a look at what ODPixel and Lacoste have to say? Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think? It's the first match of the day. We have some exciting drafts.
We do. I've got to say, I kind of agree that it seems very even. I feel like neither team's really come out with a bad hand here. Both having a really nice finisher. The Lesh that's going to really amp up the speed that they can play with and the team fight potential they'll have around this Mars and Phoenix. And on the side of EG, I think the Jug pretty much was the obvious finisher. They do take it. And of course, it just fits nicely as well with what they were trying to do on top of what they're playing against. You know, the speed and push that they're going to be able to bring in with this Beastmaster DP Jug. It's going to come at a pace that maybe might be a little too fast for FNATIC.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards EG a bit, you know, 55-45 I would say here. You know, it seems like a really good Juggernaut game, except like the carry-to-carry matchup because of the blur. You can't Omni/PA if it's available, but yeah, Beastmaster, their Prophet, Earth Spirit, a lot of chaos in the front lines. Like, should be a fun one.
All right, well, we'll see if it's a fun one. We'll leave it to you guys. Take it away.
The spirit.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game one of Evil Geniuses versus FNATIC. Of course, a series that we're just very excited to see. Again, one of these clashes between the two regions that we've been waiting to have. North America versus SEA. Let's see who's going to have the upper hand here today. Already FNATIC bringing the whole team here around the mid lane. See if they can find themselves some action. They won't.
This is the kind of classic Southeast Asian move. They love to brawl before the horn. Like throughout the first season, we've seen like 4 or 5 kills. We've seen Ultra Kill coming out from one of the Southeast Asian teams before the horn. So yeah, Dead Prophet, position 5, starting with the Blightstone. A bit unusual. It's a good, you know, minus armor, the harassment and everything. Dead Prophet also for some reason has the 335 movement speed, which is very nice. One of the reasons why she's picked so often. And, of course, the toolkit where you have something to take the Roshan with, the position 5 that really scales. You have the AoE silence. What more can you ask from a hero? Maybe a stun on a Crypt Swarm?
Let's not give him any ideas, you know. So here we have it. Crit, of course, on that level 30 of Spirit. We can expect to see some very fancy moves from the man today.
Yeah, definitely one of the best players on the Earth Spirit out there. Knows what he's doing. Like, this is the first game that EG is playing this tournament. Same goes for FNATIC pretty much, but hope the boys were ready. Hope the boys are not jet lagged or anything. They're ready to go.
It's looking spicy.
We'll get a pretty good feel for sort of where they're at a few minutes into this. The lane setup, no surprises. Ice up top. Crit starting to get those pulls, grab the creep waves round, so they'll be able to get some good hold of this top lane. Be up against Raven on carry PA, DJ.
Yeah, nicely done by Crit. He also blocks the creep wave. Body blocks. They have a sentry ward from FNATIC, but they do not want to give them the ability to pull the wave.
DJ just going to try and see if he gets some denies here as Crit. The waves meeting the towers. That's where mid lane matchup. Arbed against Moon. Versus the Lesh. How do you expect this one to go? I mean, can Moon sort of punish Arbed early on, or is Arbed going to farm just fine?
He should be okay. Like, whoever gets like level 6 could potentially threaten a kill. We're gonna see, of course, heroes rotating for the 4-minute rune. One rotation that could potentially be there, I've seen it so many times, Earth Spirits just either using the smoke or TPing to the mid lane and just rolling from the trees to get a kill. Ice with a bit of a different build on the Beastmaster. He went like a lot of region in this lane. Good roll.
On bottom. EG, they're gonna be able to get that first blood. Jabs. Run down. Move from the two of the flying RTs. They made a play onto Masteros. They decided to turn over towards Jabs instead, knowing that there's Fire Spirits. He just doesn't have that escape. RTZ off to a hot start. I say that though, he has been speared back in towards Jabs. Ray Fury back up in a few seconds.
He should be okay. 4 stakes. Fly has a healing salve, so he's gonna use that on Arteezy back to full HP. I was talking about Beastmaster's build. Like, he went for 6 tangos, healing salve, and the magic stick. I think it's a bit of an overkill in this lane because Next Assassin doesn't really harass you. What he can do is use Impale. Phantom Assassin also does not want to pop those daggers on you. Raven, he just jumped in onto the boar. Let's see if they start playing a bit more aggressive.
Get the slow out onto two of them. Crit did miss the initial roll, unfortunately for himself. Raven and DJ not under direct fight, so yeah. A little low on the regen though on their half of things. Raven down to chomping on his last tango. Pressure will build up even further if they've got any further. Regen coming out south is on its way from DJ, so we'll be able to offer that up for Raven. Bottom lane, Fly, continue to try and do his best to get the space for Arteezy, but as it is, you see Masteros getting a lot more out of this bottom lane than Artor is so far. May have got that first blood. When it comes to hitting the creeps, Masteros and Jabs are putting the pressure on massively against Arteezy's Jug.
FNATIC is playing the bottom lane so well, putting a lot of harassment. They understand that they have no regen left. Arteezy will need to bring some extra regen. One thing that he could have done, possibly get the healing ward on a level 3, just to have that extra sustain, because they're not playing aggressive right now, and you always need to be careful about like Spear of Mars, God's Rebuke. There's a ton of damage, like Fly steps one step forward, and he might be in trouble. Yeah, no one actually checked the rune. Everyone's just staying in the lanes. Moon picked up the illusion. Not the best rune, like he can't get rid of the silences or anything. It's a bit too early. Would prefer something else.
Illusion.
Might have him a little bit with the CS at least. And those extra few units to get in on the denies. See how much more he can take away from Arbed. Bottom lane, it's easy. So as much as they'd like to find some sort of aggressive move with the blade through, it's so hard against these two high HP heroes. Fly trying to stay in range to keep the siphon going, but he's very, very low himself. Fly now completely out of regen. Try and step in for the courier.
DJ trying to steal the rune. Also has Observer Ward placed in the river to see any kind of rotations from the Earth Spirit, to see the runes. Like they just want to be able to control those runes. Lashrak just needs 2 more CS to get to level 6. A bit of a slow start to the game.
Both teams taking it easy, waking up. Focusing on Jabs. Gonna dive away.
He will find that healing ward. Plus 75 gold, not too bad. And they understand on the bottom lane, like we need to be as tanky as possible. I love that Bracer build on a Phoenix. Masaros, also a Bracer, just brings casual belt of strength. You know, he has over 1,000 HP right now.
Yeah, it just means that Arteezy's never going to be able to go on them in the laning stage. Just won't quite have enough damage between the Jug and the DP on these early levels. These tanky heroes. Over towards mid. Jabs hanging around with Moon. Crits there, guarding Arbed. But Arbed's going to have
he gets the best possible rune.
Look for a kill potential here. They'll try straight onto Moon. Guns off the mark for Crypt. They're going to get the Vortex pull back. Mass TP's coming in though. As Moon, he's going to be able to turn with the backup of Jab. That DJ coming in. Arbed, he's out of mana.
He's out of mana.
DJ just off the mark with the stun. Arbed able to pull lightning out in time. Won't catch him.
It was a tough kill to get, you know. You go on Lashrak, if he gets the Pulse Nova before, there's going to be a ton of damage. Had 7 Magic Wand charges to work with and a Fairy Fire. A bit tough to kill to get. And good rotation from FNATIC, like they were ready to actually just go on if something happens. Juggernaut, he's super under leveled, like he just hit level 5.
A slow start with the 13 denies from Masteros. Quite a bit of XP taken away from Arteezy in the lane. Top, Raven, going in on Eyesight Sights. DJ's able to swing back around up to the top from the mid lane. And they're actually not going to overcommit on Eyesight Sights. They see the TP from Arbed. Arbed goes straight to DJ. Spike happens down, right on top of it, and there's nothing else DJ can do to keep himself alive. DG, a poke back hard as FNATIC try and make a move. Instant reactions from Arbed. Arbed making sure that he doesn't miss out on any chance to get some kills early on here.
And it's very important that he gets the last hit, because he's the one rotating this Hawk, scouting things out. They see Raven.
See if Raven's going to get any sort of help here. There's 3 of EG playing with him underneath the tower. DJ heading over as well as Moon. Crit and Arbed starting to step back. The mana burn onto Arbed, but he's still got enough to stay safe.
Now, once Leshrac shows up, you know that you can't really go. There's just too much damage. Edict is maxed out. He also found the dream items. Royal Jelly, Arcane Ring, 7 minutes in, gave 1 Jelly. The Phantom Assassin. Storm Spirit still does not have a neutral item. They also don't have any stacks. None of the team actually stacking this time around.
I think just about to keep themselves fully focused on, you know, whether it be Arbed or Crit making moves, or as we're seeing FNATIC just TPing around with Moon already very ready to get active. He has this Invis rune. He's going to see if he can maybe catch out Crit or Arbed on this top lane. See what sort of setup Moon can find. 3 of EG standing close to one another.
This is big.
Raven and DJ ready to head over.
They have a sentry. Caught a glimpse of him, so they know.
Yeah, they're out of it. They'll back up. Wave nicely safely close to the tower. So the second move from Moon where he's coming up this top lane not finding anything.
2 TPs to the bottom lane. They want Mars, but Masaros,
that's a hard
he knows something is up. Like, a very nice read.
Even if they do manage to grab him, very, very tanky. 1300 HP, very far as well to go. Some of the stacks starting to be made here over on FNATIC's half of the map. Moon be beginning to clear them up. Beat up his first item timing, the Yule Scepter, very close, just round the corner. See how things are going for the carries. Arteezy and with help into the Battle Fury. Over on the side of FNATIC, Raven, sword picked up. So far, just a little bit ahead, Arteezy. Raven about 400 gold between them.
Beastmaster is level 7, no mana for Roar. Now he got it, book 1, also available. I think they should, Arteezy actually just spins and TPs to the top lane. Let's see if they can make aggressive move. Tower at 600 HP. They know something is up. Raven goes back to the base. Seems like they do not want to defend this tower. They see Arteezy showing up. A bit too afraid from the damage coming up from the Roar and the Omni Slash. Nice move. Tower on the bottom lane, like they need to make stuff happen. Moon has Edict maxed out, so they will be easily taking that tier 1 tower on the bottom. DP was soaking up some XP on the mid lane while all that is happening, so she's level 6.5 without buying the stone 10 minutes in, which is pretty good. Storm also finds the Jelly a bit later, but still a lot of value, especially on a hero like a Storm Spirit.
Now we're really just seeing absolutely fantastic awareness for both of these sides. They know exactly how their opponent wants to play. Just a 2-to-1, 10.5 minutes in, they're just avoiding one another. They know where these moves are going to come from, and they're making sure that their heroes like Raven on the PA. Yeah,
it's easy for us, you know, we see everything. We see both wards from both of the teams. We see the whole map, but you know, when you're in the game, in a game like this, you need to be very careful. And as you said, both teams having a really good read what's happening.
DJ. The 60 scan things out. Ice is going to go for the Roar. Arbed jumping over towards Jabs. Can he burst him in time? Pulls it back with Vortex, but he hasn't got the damage. Jabs will be fine. He's able to get the Phoenix Egg off, and Arbed's got to run. Moon turns attention over towards Ice. Moon's got the stun. Take down the Beastmaster. But it was the mid, Arteezy. Should be okay, still has a blade Fury and an Omni stance. Masaros lays down the arena, he's caught blind. FNATIC very prepared for that. As DJ able to set things up, coming in with the Invis, giving them the information that they need. And EG, and try and make a bit too deep of a move there onto Jabs with the Roar. They just couldn't bring him down. And if you're not taking out that Phoenix before he gets the egg, you've suddenly got to bail. And they'd already thrown too much into that.
It was a bit
being used by Arbed.
Like millisecond too late of a silence coming up from the Dead Prophet. It connected on the 3, did not connect on the Phoenix because he popped the egg. Like at least they would have gotten a kill on a Phoenix. FNATIC using a smoke. They lost the tier 1 tower on the mid, which is a pretty big deal. So EG can control the top part of the map. For now, Arteezy just farming up the bottom. The good thing is they have no abilities that can go through Magic Immunity, so Blade Fury can always be used to just TP out. There is Edict, but you know, it doesn't stun you.
Lining up the stun, he's able to find the connection on the DJ, but the spike characters is out. Moon is going to come charging in, sends him with the silence. Arbed, but the stun is down, fly. Comes over the exit to Raven and Moon, trying to come in onto Arbed, but they can't kill the Storm. As Moon goes down, Raven and DJ, they've got to run Crit on the chase, keeping this magnetite going. Huge amounts of damage coming out from the Earth Spirit. DJ will trip him up with the spike carapace. They've lost Fly. Crit and RTZ get anything more out of this. RTZ still with the
nice, done.
DJ lines up the two of them with the Impale. Stops RTZ from being able to get anything more from this.
They just needed a bit more damage. It was a huge magnetize. Lashrak also needs to be a bit more careful how he's using that Yule Scepter. Like if he uses it aggressively, they have multiple silences. They have ways to interrupt his like Yule Scepter into stun combo. Ice on the top lane, just farming up, getting the most out of the map. Like this is what Beastmaster does the best, controlling the top part of the map after he takes the tier 1 tower. Raven getting closer to Battle Fury. Jug has 1,000 more net worth, just needs 300 gold to finish his.
Yeah, it's easy, just able to get that little bit more out of the map. The 84 CS against the 67 of Raven. The farm has just been that more efficient from Artur. Ice. And they'll just take over FNATIC's jungle, really limiting the area that FNATIC have to farm with their cores.
Nyx scouting things out, both start with a stun, just TP out, it's that easy. I mean, if you go for a hit from Vendetta, try to go for a stun, he's probably going to be able to react, but even if he just stuns him, I don't think he dies. No, like Juggernaut has way too much armor, sitting at 16. I don't think you get that kill.
Yeah, it's just you just take the chance of maybe catching him by surprise. He's just not going to get it at all, Abed. Get caught here by the blink initiation from Masteros that follows up from Moon. It's enough damage. They'll do it. They'll burst through Abed.
Fly, Yule Scepter. Ooh, not in range.
They're going to try and chase for Ice. A Sunray up on him. Masteros links up straight in with the arena. He'll catch another. They'll lock down Ice. Even using the Supernova just in case there was going to be any sort of counterplay from EG.
That's really worth it. You know, they get 2 kills out of that Phoenix. He has decent amount of farm, and I love the build. Like, I've seen this build in the Chinese region, especially when they play against the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin this time around is on their team, but he wants to have something to defend against all these silences, and then you can just use a BKB, Sunray, cannot get interrupted, spin bottom.
See it, Raven. Could he get out of this one? I don't think so. Too much magical damage and nothing to jump over to. As Raven's taken out, and the difference continues to grow between the farm of RTZ and Raven. As RTZ with this Battle Fury running. Of course, Raven just a few hundred gold away from it. They've got to do a better job of protecting their PA. They can't afford for Raven to keep going down.
This damage coming up from Lashrak is a bit too high. Like, Lashrak can deal with a lot of these heroes. You know, the amount of damage that he pumps out is just too big. A bit problematic is they don't have that real save for the Lashrak. The only kind of save that they have is a Sunray, which might not be enough. One of the reasons why Lashrak wants to get an earlier BKB. Like, I see Boots of Travel, but in the game like this, where it matters a lot, I think it's much safer play to just get that BKB instead. Because you're playing against the Beastmaster, sometimes Boots of Travel really, you know, does not pay off. You want to be more greedy with the item, you go for one extra wave, you get caught by a Beastmaster who provides a lot of vision. EG, Exorcism, they're inside the pit.
They've got a DD on RTZ as well. They'll have no trouble doing this pretty quickly. See if FNATIC's going to be able to get over in time. They have the Arena of Blood up and ready, but it's just far too fast. Beastmaster, Death Prophet, double damage, Juggernaut, no chance of any sort of contest from FNATIC, because Arben is going to have the Aegis ready for the next fight.
And EG instantly, they pop the glyph on the mid lane. They want to defend that tier 1 tower to always be able to connect if there's something happening around the mid lane. Beastmaster finishes the Necro 3, so they're going to have a bit of problem stunning, initiating with the Nyx Assassin, and a lot of those Observer Wards will get devoted.
Oh, supposed to spout EG, they know that someone's hiding here in the trees. Moon is going to try and do some damage on the tower. EG rather split up though, so they won't try and jump in, crit, and fly, keep themselves safe on the high ground.
After Lash shows with the Edict on the tower, they know everyone else is there. Ice instantly pings the top lane, like, let's try to get this tier 2 tower before 20-minute mark, take out the outpost. So FNATIC does the same thing, they go to the bottom lane. A lot of damage coming out from this Edict. Also, we kind of missed the opportunity to call the Masaros Marsaros, considering the hero he's playing.
There we go. Got it in there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very fitting as well. Having an excellent time. Mars 2-0-2. After a lane where he did do his best efforts to slow down Arteezy's farm in the laning stage, and they were successful in that, but Arteezy just done an excellent job of recovering. Of course, sitting there, the highest net worth in the game right now in the Jug. Going to continue, as here we have it. River just dealing with the summons. Arteezy actually just getting able to farm between the tier 2s and the tier 3s, and playing incredibly aggressive. The knowledge that Crit, Fly, Arbed, they're right behind him. If FNATIC make any sort of move onto Arteezy. And again, FNATIC, they sort of know that. We're not seeing them trying to punish this sort of deep farming from EG. They respect
they're respecting the vision, they're respecting the ages, also not having anything against the Juggernaut, so he feels pretty safe just split pushing. Well, it's being picked out, like tier 3, Arteezy dropped down the healing ward.
He tried to get the catch here. He's not going to silence it. Flame Fury's out instantly. Crit trying to get in on the front, get the magnetized down, but the Spike Carapace will keep him held on the high ground. Crit goes down. He starts to step back, he'll set him down. Arbed zips over, they bring him down. There's the only set for Arteezy. And with the balance here, he's leaping through the ball. He takes down Basros, takes down Jabs up the high ground, and gets the catch on EG as well. As EG take down 4.
It looked like a really good arena, but there was like no real follow-up. Phantom Assassin is still afraid to go in compared to like Juggernaut. He does not care too much. They have a healing ward, he has the Omni Slash, and as you said, you know, big Juggernaut ulti on 3 people cleaving, and they're gonna take the barracks. 19 minutes in, this might be one of the fastest barracks so far in the tournament.
Yeah, very, very carefully sort of play game from both teams, but up until that point, just underestimating the potential of the Jug at this stage, really. Just, as you said, just a perfect Omni Slash from Arteezy, getting every single bounce, hitting pretty much at least 3 heroes at the same time. It was a deep, aggressive move from EG, but it pays off.
It looked like they could reset. You know, you can see Jabs using the all chat, and it's looking spicy, and then they just melt. Like, they don't have anything against the Juggernaut. Now, Jug doesn't have Aegis anymore, but has that S and Y. A bit more tanky, status resistance kicks in against all of the stunts that they have going into Aghanim Scepter. Like, getting that Aghanim Scepter on the Juggernaut early on is just too good, you know, having that mini Omni Slash for some extra damage, extra survivability, so you can possibly like reset the cooldown on the Blaze Fury.
Yes. And just being able to bait out some of those defensive items and maneuvers that the enemy's going to go for when they see it coming out, so that they don't have it when you come in with the hard-hitting actual, the original Omni Slash.
Phantom Assassin talked about how PA does not have any kind of steroid in this game. There's like no alacrity, no empower, and she's kind of struggling. Does have a battle fury for herself, but still is not fight ready. Like, feels very unsafe for her to just jump in. Has a Mithril Hammer going for the Desolator. I don't mind that, but the third item then must be a BKB. Even though they have, you know, a lot of physical damage, a lot of stuff that goes through magic immunity, exorcism, roar, Jug ulti, you still need to be able to defend yourself.
On him. Arbed with a zip in, but the Spike Carapace is there for DJ jumping around. Arbed getting low, but of course he still has that Aegis anyway. Arbed is still at the zip in. Grab Raven will go down the once. Fly and Ice are pushing back DJ whilst they leave Crit and Arbed to deal with Raven. As Raven goes down, Ice roars DJ. 2 more kills for Evil Geniuses. They'll be bringing the bottom creep wave round.
Not sure what the plan there was, because Arbed was still holding onto Aegis for another like 15 seconds. Maybe they didn't time it right. Maybe they thought, you know, we'll go on him and possibly go for the perfect timing, because they just couldn't connect with the rest of the team. And with the Aegis, they still have the outpost there for EG, so they can TP. They could easily connect from the mid lane. Their heroes are relatively mobile.
Mid-Moon and Masteros, I mean, they're hiding. They're going to try and make a play. They're going to get the jump onto Arteezy, but Fly comes from the side. Silence onto the 2 of them. Moon has to put the BKB to try and keep this fight going. Arbed, he's immediately open in the back line, moves towards Jabs. Jabs is going to burn before he gets any chance to get anything out after Silence. Fly will fall in return, but
there's the Omni.
He's in with the slash, takes down Moon, DJ the fall as well. 3 dead on FNATIC. EG, they'll continue with the push on this mid lane as the creep wave will be making its way over. And again, these fights is going to push RTZ towards such insane item timings. The Aghanims just about 1,000 gold away. 22 minutes in, he's 3k ahead of Raven. The game is just sped up to a point that FNATIC, they're just struggling to keep up with.
Yeah,
and Raven, he's got so much work to do to be able to get to a point where he can actually get into these fights.
FNATIC tries to make a move on the Juggernaut, but he's a bit too tanky. They kind of overlap their stuns as well there, and with the status resistance, he gets the Blade Fury off. I don't think that's the hero that they can go on. It's very hard to bring him down unless they like surprise him with the Nyx Assassin. It was a decent arena, but I think Juggernaut right now just feels way too comfortable going in. Also, good jump from the Storm Spirit, realizes Phoenix does not have that BKB yet. I'll go in, jump him. He still can't defend himself. Ahmed knows what he needs to go for. Roar.
Nice. He's going to try and go for them underneath the tower. He's able to BKB and walk off that arena. That's the arena down the drain. Ahmed.
Nice itemization from EG. They understand all the damage that they have besides PA is pretty much magical. So we will get the BKBs. We don't care about the arena. We don't care about the Phoenix. Like, our heroes are very good at killing the egg if we can just pop those BKBs. So far they have 3 already done. Even like Earth Spirit position 4 has a BKB, and of course the Blade Fury, so you can count that as a 4th one.
I mean, yeah, that's... How do you even fight these heroes if you're FNATIC? Unless EG's out alone, but so far EG, they've not been getting caught like that. GD is available, RTZ is heading over, he's got it, they got to run. They spotted it out, FNATIC, but they weren't able to stop EG from taking it. FNATIC's got to get out of it. Crit and Arbiter are in for the BKBs. They're on top of Raven. Raven has got anything to come to. He has it. Raven's down and out. Moon will manage to TP away.
Oh, he pops the egg. They is, you know, very dead. They're gonna get it. So that's 3 kills. Like, the jump from EG is really good, and they also allow Juggernaut to pick up a double damage. So he's gonna have that for another like 15-ish, 20 seconds. So this should be another set of barracks. Like, even though Leshrac is relatively farmed, you know, he deals a ton of damage, but he can't go through the BKBs.
Up to the high ground they go, EG. And FNATIC, they've not been able to stop them in any of the moves over the last 10 minutes. And I don't think anything's really going to change. 13k lead, 16-9. After a relatively mild opening to the game, it's just blown wide open. RTZ's just shot so far ahead of anything that FNATIC have to offer.
RTZ, even using a mini slash on the creeps, gets out. That's the problem. Like, whenever Juggernaut is having a good time, like you and me were talking about, like, what's the last pick gonna be? Just it felt like
it's such a good
Juggernaut game to start with. 2 set of barracks gone. This is one of those like desperation smokes from FNATIC. Like, we need to make something happen right now. But they're down too much, like in terms of network, in terms of items. Another good jump.
Immediately onto Moon. Moon's gone. BKB's down from my side. There's the slash coming in. DJ gets cut down. 2 down yet again. Masteros is not getting out of this one as EG surround him. Triple kill.
This might be it, though. There it is. GG is called.
GG's called. I mean, it's absolutely over this one as EG. I mean, they could not have hoped for a better first game of the tournament.
Yeah, this is a great start for EG. Like, they looked very confident. Their moves are on point. Like, they got rid of a lot of the boards. FNATIC was pretty much playing with the black map. Couldn't do much, you know, and they completely shut down Phantom Assassin. RTZ